You're in Fareham.
Yeah. Are you saying we should have met up and done this?
Yeah, that could have worked. So that's so funny. I never knew you were there the whole time. You're literally like half an hour down the road.
I've been in Denver, so
yes,
the wife is from Denver. Now wife since October.
You're glad you got that right.
Recent wife. Better mention it.
Not the current wife.
Current wife, yeah. Did you get married or engaged?
I got engaged
last year. That.
Yeah, March last year. So took her to Aphrodite Rock in Cyprus and did the whole Greek thing, the mythology, goddess of love. She was quivering.
Beautiful. I did mine next to a British post box.
Nice.
Because, but so it's quite cool. You know the toppers they make in England.
Yeah.
They knit. I found the lady that did that and got a custom one made. Saying, "Will you marry me?" And yeah, every time Emma came over, she would take pictures with because they do it at Christmas, Halloween, whatever. So we just walked down the village just on a stroll, and it was there.
That's amazing, especially because she's American. The British cultural influence, that's a touch. That's really nice. So
it was good. It's become a thing now. It's like people buy us letterbox ornaments. And my mum bought me a letterbox kind of copy, and so it's funny.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you know the funniest thing? Your wife's called Emma. My fiance is called Emma.
There we go.
No.
Yeah. There we go. And we didn't know we were half an hour from each other either.
No, serendipitous.
Well, I have to come say hello, mate, in person at some point as well. Yeah. Come see the gym.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the gym here now. I'm in different house. True. That was in North London. I'm glad I left that house. It was a fucking nightmare. So being self-employed, this is a funny story because I'm in the process of moving a house that I own into a buy-to-let and then starting a property company, because that's kind of like something I've always loved, right? But my first experience, I don't know where you've obviously been an athlete and stuff, trying to buy property in the UK is a nightmare. And I had like 40k saved, and I was like sick. I was on a first team contract at Wasps. I was like, I've reached the peak of like society, and I went to the bank, and they're like, yeah, you can't have a mortgage. You're on a 10-month contract, and you don't get paid anything anyway. So I fast learned the realities of sport, but I found a houseboat, a residential houseboat in, if anyone who's listening, in Rickmansworth, Hertfordshire, on a private farm. It was residential, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking live there. That's what I'm gonna do, because it was like 60k. Yeah, and I'd been pre-approved on my Halifax to borrow like 35 grand, because all of my academy franchise money was going in, the businesses that I run. So there was loads of money going in. I had a few contractors working for me. So like the account was buoyant, not my £18,000 a year WASP salary. So then I was like, I'll go back to the bank. I just need an extra 20k. That would give me some money to renovate it, and I'll buy it. And I went to the bank, and they were like, yeah, sure, you can have that money. Do you, let me just go check with my boss. He came back. He was like, are you going to live on it? And I was like, well, yeah. It's like, it's a houseboat. I'm going to live on it. And so he's like, I'll come back. So he comes back in. He goes, can't have the money. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, it will constitute a mortgage. And I was like, but you can't mortgage water. It floats, right? Yeah. And he was just like this young guy goes back and goes, oh, I'll go check to my boss. I'll go speak to my boss. So comes back in. And he was like, yeah, we can't give you the money for that, but we can give you these new things. They're called like help to buy mortgages. And in my head, I thought, you fucker, I was in here 3 weeks ago trying to get a mortgage and you wouldn't give it to me. And then so I just left, went outside, and applied for the money on the app, and it was in my bank account in about 5 minutes. By the time I got back to my car, the money was in my bank because I took a personal loan out. And then lived on the houseboat, renovated it, made a cameo in George Clark's Amazing Spaces, which was hilarious. Worst experience of my life, one of them. And I had neurovirus the day of filming, and I was like shitting like a sinking ship, basically, and I felt awful. But then I sold it and made some money on it, and then when I went to get a mortgage, I was just getting absolutely bumholed. So I bought this old cottage with a massive garden, but I didn't realize at the time. You know, when you buy a house, you do see it with like rose tinted spectacles. I didn't realize it was on a massive A road and didn't acknowledge the road, and there was 5,000 cars that went past a day, and it was like a 200-year-old cottage. It was really nice and quaint, but it was sunk below the road. So the bedroom window was like at road height, and it was just like vroom, 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 18-wheeler HGVs going past. So I was like, fuck this.
That's not great.
No, yeah. I was like clinically insane at one point because I was getting up at like 2 a.m. every day because I couldn't sleep. Would go downstairs, watch a movie, and then sleep from about 4 till 7. It was savage. It was savage. So
yeah, that's painful, mate.
That's when Emma and we decided to come and live on the south coast because her parents bought a caravan in Ferring. Her sister lives in Hove, so we did like a holiday down here, and we're like, "Fuck this, we're never going back. We'll just stay by the sea and start again and see what happens." You know,
mate. It's nice. Yeah. The South's nice, isn't it? The South's nice.
Oh, mate, love it. Like everywhere's north. Like it does feel a long way to go everywhere, but at the same time, that's the reason why you do it. You get away from all the noise, especially London. Fuck London, mate.
I'm like that now. Like, I love Colorado for the space that I have when I'm out there, and just can escape and take my truck and just go to the mountains it's perfect, mate. Yeah, perfect place to train as well. Just kick footballs and that kind of stuff. So
indoor facilities. The UK hasn't caught up with that.
And it should, believe it or not, Colorado doesn't have that many. They're accessible.
Is it drier though?
Yeah. I mean, it's sunshine 300 plus days a year.
Oh,
even if it's cold. So it's one of those. It's dry and it's brown. It's not green like here, but it's dry and it's sunny. It's
What truck do you have out there?
I had a Chevy Silverado when I was out there.
I think I know what that is.
Like a 2006? Old school, like just huge.
2000. Oh, yes. Yeah. I love that.
Now I have a Ford Ranger here just because when I came back, but an old one, 2003, so like a classic 2003 Ford Ranger. I was like, need to get one of those to come back home. If I'm going to come home, I'm going to drive one of those. Yeah.
What's the MPGs like on that? Is it any decent?
Terrible. Terrible. You can't drive around the block. You're filling up again. It's another 80 quid.
Yeah. No, I had a Jeep. Another house story, but I had a Mercedes white C-Class coupe. It was slick. It was like a toxic girlfriend. Like it was so fast and so unpredictable. I loved it. And I got a good deal in COVID, beginning of COVID, when the housing market, the car market crashed. It was up for 22. I haggled it for 15. Drove from Buckinghamshire to Bolton in a day. I was like, I'm only coming if I can leave my car there. He was like, just bring it. And but I had to sell that car because when I bought my house down here, the bank were like, you owe us an extra 15 grand for capital gains. So they 5x'd me on the things I declared. So I bought a new computer, it's like $3,500. They 5x'd me on it, the fuckers. And then they were like, oh, give us another $9,000 for your student loan. So I had to sell my car. Like because I was stuck renting. Like I was having heart palpitations. I was stuck renting. Otherwise, I'd had to commit to another 12 months. And I was like, I was on the deadline. I was like, emptied all my investments, all my stocks, like fucking everything, sold my car to get this money. And it was one of those cases where the bank actually called my broker and were like, this is insane. Like, what is going on? I was like, get these fuckers on the phone and tell them to justify their spending. So, which is why I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to start a property business because I've got too much money in this fucking house that I don't live in anymore.
Don't blame you. Yeah, I haven't had to go through it yet. Because I haven't been home. I haven't been home enough, so not yet. But one day.
Yeah. Especially you'll do it with you. Will you do it with your missus as well?
Yeah. And to be honest, we sort of we could end up back in the States anyway. So it's it might not be buying here. We'd probably look to buy somewhere in the States anyway. So yeah. Well, going through that process, visa stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, the UK is fucked at the moment. Like, let's be honest. So we're not that far from Crowborough or wherever it was. You hear all about that?
No.
Oh, I'll have to be careful just in case they take the podcast down or I get arrested. But there's the old army base, and at like last week, 3:00 in the morning, they shipped in 600 male illegal immigrants to live on the old army training base. So I've been looking online, like personal protection for my missus, trying to get a mace and a fucking kosh when she's out walking.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to get Emma to again.
Yeah,
I told Emma to bring over,
bring
mace
it.
spray.
Bring it. Yeah.
Bring your spray. And she'll arrive in Heathrow and she's like, "Oh, I'll get the I can figure out the trains or get a coach down." I'm like, "No, you're not.
Nope.
No, you're not."
Nope.
I'll pick her up. Nope. 2-hour drive every time, hour and a half. I'll pick her up every time, and it costs double the government take all my money because my truck is old, so it costs me $12.50 a day just to drive up there, plus £7 to pick her up at least. If I go in and park, it might be £20. Then petrol or diesel. So I'm like £50 every time I pick her up. But it's like you're not getting you're not getting a bus, a coach, or a train.
Yeah. Nah,
it's just I don't feel safe just letting her do that by herself. Just
yeah.
Do
you know what? You know what made me laugh about this country? You know when they brought in that congestion charge, and then they were like to for environmentally friendly reasons. So then everyone got electric cars, and now they've put them on it as well.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, they've been really mugged off.
It's like, do you remember Tommy Cooper?
Yeah.
Tommy Cooper? It's like Tommy Cooper joke. What's one of them? Here's another one. It's like let's just fuck them in plain sight.
It's awful.
But anyway, the question I want to ask you is about, before we actually get into like football or anything like that, and have you been horse riding out in Colorado up in the mountains? Have you done anything like that?
Not yet. So our friends have horses,
like cowboy and shit,
a ranch and all that thing.
Yes.
And so I've sent Emma up there. She loves horses. She loves horse riding. She used to when she was young. So I set that up for her, but I haven't done it myself. But I'd love to. And when the family were over here, actually, that was one thing they wanted to do, but between wedding plans, it didn't happen. We did lots of mountain stuff, but never jumped on the horses. But you can do it. I mean, are you thinking whole Yellowstone kind of Montana vibe? Is that, that's the life, isn't it?
I've got a cousin who's got a place in Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
He's got a place in he works in tech boom. He's about 20 years older than me, but he's got a place in San Francisco and a place in Oregon. So he like just goes up there and does cool shit. But yeah, like that's why I bought my Jeep. I was like balls deep in Yellowstone. I was like, fuck it, let's get a Jeep and just see what we can do, you know. And then I was literally just driving around Worthing. I didn't go anywhere in it, and it was literally costing me a fortune. Like it was like 12 miles per gallon. I was like, got to get rid of this.
Yeah, it's frustrating here, isn't it? Because it's like,
yeah,
if you want something like that, they'll sting you for it, and it's like, well, we need it. Like the weather this last, I'm glad I've had a truck.
Yeah.
I drove through all the flooded country lanes where cars are stuck. I'm like, see you later. You know, we grew up doing, you know, in the countryside, and Dad was did hunting, and you know, we did all that kind of lifestyle. So when I come home, I want to do that. I want to go camping.
Yeah.
But it's like to drive around the country in that. It's I wouldn't be able to, you know, half my savings would be gone. So it does frustrate me a bit that England's like, and that's what I miss about America. It's kind of like you can have your big truck and it's 30 quid to fill up.
Yeah.
Instead of 100 quid, and it's like it's supported. People like it's normal to have those vehicles. Whereas here, it's like the government just want you to have a little Fiesta that it doesn't even have an engine. You got to use your legs and push it along. You know?
Yeah.
If it's up to them, they would make us all do that. So it's,
I remember the first time I went out to the States, and it was 2012, I think, for like a coaching visit. And I remember going to the airport, and we should have rented a truck for the first time. We've got like a Cadillac thing, and we pulled into this car park. And I remember getting out, and I'm like 6'4", so most cars you stand and see over the roof. And I remember getting out of the car. Not my mate was parking it. I got out this car, and I remember just being like, kept standing up, and I kept standing up, and this car just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there was like a turn to my right, and there was just this wheel, and I was like, "Oh, we're in America now." We're right.
Yeah, they're amazing.
You need a ladder to get into it, you know. And that's what I like about, and I think the difference between British and American culture, that when, you know, over here, like you run your own business, you're like enterprise driven, you're innovating constantly. You're quite suppressed here, but over there it's like, fuck, come on, let's go. Do you want it? Go get it, and I'll pat you on the back. And but I will not, like here, try and grab you by the fucking back of your neck when you're going up and drag you back down to earth. You know, that tall poppy syndrome. Have you seen World War Z? World War Z?
No, I haven't. No.
Brad Pitt. It's like a zombie movie. It's just like a zombie movie. But they get to like the end. The war. It's in Israel, this religious capital, and there's this like big wall around it. You've got these zombies climbing up to try and get inside, and they're literally just ripping each other down. These zombies. I was like, that's Britain.
That's what you thought when you watched.
Yeah, I was like, that's the coaching industry in Britain. That's you know. So, but 18 minutes in, finally, this is what I like to do. I just start recording and just talk. And
that's all right. We can chat all day.
So, just for the listeners, I'm on with Dean Faithful, kicking legend, and obviously played American football, and he's a kicker. So we're just going to get into a little bit of bits and bobs, but no real formal introductions. But let's for everyone, you're like being a big trailblazer in going overseas and playing American football. So how did that kind of happen?
Honest answers by accident. I like to say it was all planned. It wasn't. It was by accident. But I was do I have to say football and American football, or should I say soccer? Or will that
just say if you say American football once and then just refer to things as football, then they can figure it out themselves, can't they?
Yeah. Well, I played our football.
Yeah.
First. So I played, you know, our football first, and I had a scholarship over in the States initially, had 4 years at Florida Tech. And that was all I thought about. I wanted to be a footballer. I was a centre back, not skillful, could head it, kick people, and I could always strike the ball. And so, yeah, 4 years doing that. And then I had about 8 years, a bit of a journeyman. I played in Australia, Costa Rica, Belgium, Trinidad and Tobago. I sort of spent 8 years sort of traveling and playing football, and then I'd pick up side jobs, and I did some marketing. I worked on a boat. I got my boat license so I could drive boats around Melbourne in Australia. Yes. I taught English in Costa Rica as a second language, so I had to learn a bit of Spanish so I could teach English. So I did all these things to support myself and travel and play football, and it was brilliant. Amazing. And I got into my 30s, and I guess that's part of the biggest part of the story is kind of the age I got into it, really, because I got into my 30s, 32, 33, and I picked up a job as a project manager here in England, and was like, "Oh, right, I'll grow up. It's time to grow up. You've been traveling, you've done all these things. Time to grow up." And but then I got invited to a wedding in Florida, and that's where kind of life changed a bit. So I went to the wedding, and I was supposed to, just come back and pick up the job again. But I went for a coffee with my old head coach from Florida Tech, Robin Chan. And I always thank him because we were sat having I don't drink coffee. I was having something else, but we were sat having a coffee somewhere, and he got a text on his phone. And he sort of looked at it and he said, "Dean, do you want to be a kicker?" And I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, coach, he needs a kicker. He's messaged me saying, do you know any of your soccer boys that can kick a ball?" He's like, "You'd be good." I said, "Channy, I'm 33. Going back to university. What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, he's looking at me." He goes, "You could do your master's degree." So I already have my bachelor. He said, "You get your master's, they'll pay for it, they'll give you somewhere to live, and you get to kick footballs." I'm like, he goes, "You're interested?" And I had a flight to London the next day. I was leaving to go look. I said, "Yeah, I'm interested." Anyway, we sat there chatting, and he gets another text through. "Would love to see him. Trial tomorrow." I'm like, trial tomorrow. So Channy's like, "Well, do you want to do it?" I said, "Mate, well, I've got a flight." He said, "It's up to you." So I made the decision. I cancelled my flight.
Amazing.
I rescheduled it, and I said, "Right, let's do this." So no joke, I was on YouTube the night before, how to kick an American football. I've never really watched the game in detail. I'd seen Super Bowls and thought, "What's this going on up here?" I've been to Super Bowl parties. But at that point, I just become fixed on it. I was like, "Do you know what? Like, this is quite cool. Like, kicking this football through these posts." And and that's what I did the night before. Watched it on YouTube. Turned up the next day. He stuck the ball down on a kickoff block, which I'd never seen before. I was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Right, just kick it as far as you can." That's literally what it said. Right? And he went back about 60-something yards. And I wellied it over his head. So he was like, he's watching the ball. Then he says, "Do it again." So I did it 2 or 3 times. He goes, "Right, seen enough." Then he would hit field goals. And again, never done this before. And he's just kind of putting them down. And I'd love to have seen the tape because I bet it looked terrible. But I'm just kicking it like a footballer. I'm pinging it like I'm a centre back. I think the first one went wide left and hit a seagull. It was terrible. But the next 3 banged down the middle from like 40 yards. And so he said, "Right, I've seen enough." He goes, "You got one of the strongest legs I've sort of seen." And I said, "Oh, all right, cool." Anyway, we walked back to his office. By the time we got back to his office, he offered me a scholarship to come back, do my master's degree. So I did an MBA. and place to live. And I said, sounds good. I've got a job at home. Let me go speak to family. It didn't take me long. I said, I got back to him and said, yeah, I'm doing it. Told work, thanks a lot. Yeah. But this was January 2020, which, if you recall, is COVID, right?
Yes.
When the world started to shut down. So I got home January. February, I think it all blew up. And so the plan was to go back to the States to kick, learn the game properly, dial in on all the skills and learn, get the Americans to teach me. Well, then we couldn't travel. So I'm stuck in England. I've binned the job off. And I'm like, all right, what
got no furlough. No furlough.
Missed out on that. And a nightmare.
We're all fucking paying it back now anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't deserve it anyway. I haven't been here. I've been in England long enough. But anyway, so I thought, well, what can I do? So I actually picked up a job on a building site, just part-time, putting tiles on roofs. So I was a roofer for a bit. Had my old belt and a hammer, and we sat there. And then every evening I would go and kick. So I ordered 3 balls off Amazon. And as much light as I had, and obviously it got lighter as time went on, I would just kick for as long as I could and figure it out. Bought a tripod, set up a camera, and I would watch NFL kickers and be like, right, how can I copy them? And I look back at the film now, and it was nothing like how I kick now. Obviously, the progression of coaching myself has been great to see, because now I'm good at it. But at the time, I wasn't. But I'd kick every day, just figure it out, kick into the wind. It was. And I remember it was like muddy fields in Fareham Rugby Club.
Right, yeah.
And I'm slipping up, but I didn't know any different. Now you couldn't catch me going out to a muddy field. I'd be like, no, where's a turf? Give me a 3G turf field. I'm not doing it, because we don't play on muddy fields in the States anyway. You play on a 3G or a nice surface. So at the time I had no idea, so I was just slipping up, booting it, and then. It was funny. So that was to go to Florida Tech, and in May, I'd been to work all day on the roofs. I remember pulling up to my house, and I got an email, and it was basically saying the football program had been cancelled at Florida Tech. And I'd been training for nearly 6 months of this, 5 months.
Yeah.
I sat in my car and cried, mate.
I bet.
I thought, I can't believe so scholarship was done, everything was gone. So Florida Tech were losing money as a football program. They still doesn't exist. They scrapped it.
What division was it?
Division 2.
Okay, yeah.
So I only had eligibility to. It's funny. I had Division 1 opportunities, but because I played soccer.
Yes.
Saying soccer, I hate saying it. Because I played soccer, I lost my D1 eligibility. So that's how it kind of works. I had 4 years at D2, and your D1 clock runs out. So I had to go D2 or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to. I sat in my car and I cried, and then I think I had a night to get over it, and I woke up in the morning and said, "Look, you put so much into this. Get back on the horse. Sort yourself out." So I started posting stuff. That was the first time I started posting things on Twitter. At the time, someone had said, Twitter's the place. All the coaches are on Twitter. Post your kicking. So I did. Posted me kicking 70-yard field goals. I would go out and purposely just boot long ones as far as I could, because I thought that'll look cool to everyone. Yeah. And I would just post it. And then I put on my Twitter that I had 2 years eligibility left.
Yeah.
Transfer, grad student. Long story short, I had about 15 offers come to my table from videos on Twitter, and I'd done some outreach emails. Yeah. And there was opportunities in Georgia and Mississippi, and then this school came up in Colorado State Pueblo, and they'd been national champions, and it looked like a cool place. My friend said, "You'll love Colorado," and I got a friend over in the States that said you'd love it. yeah, long story short, they made me an offer, and that was it.
Amazing.
I ended up but it still wasn't done because I still couldn't travel. So I had this offer,
Yeah.
had this scholarship, but I
Yeah.
still couldn't travel to the States. And it wasn't until like July that we got a message saying, right, students, F1 students can travel. So I was like, boom, booked a flight. I was gone. And then, yeah, that was really where I started learning properly, because before then it had all been myself in a field, in a rugby field. And yeah, got to Colorado and learned, the first time kicking a live ball with snap and hold.
Yeah.
First time having to hit high and long kickoffs and not just long, and just learning the rules. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And then
that's amazing.
Crazy story, really. And
because I had two athletes at that time. So I had Alex Gray, who was doing the NFL stuff, couldn't go back, which basically ended his stuff with the Falcons because of COVID, because they had the international lockout. And he was waiting on his next deal, but couldn't report to camp because they wouldn't let him in the country, and loads of other stuff happened with all the political stuff around that. But then also Toby, Toby Letman. Do you know Toby? You come across Toby?
Yeah.
He was at TCU, and I was working him out. He was at TCU, starting lineman at TCU, and they fucked him on his eligibility because he had played over here. He played for GB, so they thought it was professional. He still had 2 years. He would have gone to the league because he was starting at TCU. Like, you're draft eligible, and so that's must be. And I understand that feeling when you put so much into something. You have to, like, you're detached from it, but it's the only thing that's keeping you going. There's always something that we're working for, and then the rug gets pulled out, and it is like the hope just goes, doesn't it?
It wasn't a nice feel. I can still feel it now. I mean, looking out the window, I can imagine myself parking there. But it was what was funny. I look back and go, well, I was 33. I'd quit my job.
Yeah,
I'm kicking these American footballs. So all my family and my mates must have been thinking, what is he doing? Like, and no one really got it. And I knew that. And I think I look back and I don't know if pride's the right word. Like, I'm quite proud of just being resilient to that and kept going, because I'm sure people were like, people thought that anyway. I had quite a varied and unsettled life until then, traveling, lived in 8 countries and done. So I'm sure people weren't surprised, but also, I know people thought, Dean, grow up, mate. You're 30, you're 33. You're not going to go play professionally, or you're not going to take this anywhere. But in my head, I was like, no, I can do something with this. And whether that's just a master's degree at the end of it and 2 years in Colorado,
why
happy
not?
days. But so
it's like a Field of Dreams meets Kurt Warner.
It's nuts. It's nuts, really. But you probably agree with me.
Cutting the trees down in your back garden to put up a post.
It's exactly that.
Yeah,
it's exactly that.
But I'm with you all the way, mate. I'm with you all the way. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, the more people that think you're insane, the smarter you are.
Yeah.
I put in the in my book, really a quote that I live by. It's like, where in history have the majority always been proven right?
Yeah.
Most. It.
No, I agree. Most people are stupid. That's what you're saying. No, but you have to have that mindset though. It almost motivated me more, knowing people were like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll show you something. Yeah. And it becomes a point where you mature a bit more, and it's not about proving anyone else right, it's proving yourself right. Yeah. Or proving anyone else wrong. I mean, it's proving yourself right. And that's that mindset I had. And I think it's taken me, I've had the best kind of 6 years, to be honest, since 2020. Couldn't imagine what I've done in those 6 years. So
it's so good. Like, and I'm a middle child, so I'm like, I'll show you all. Like, that's that grit that you build, it used to be about showing everyone else, but it does just, you internalize it. It's like, I just need to know that when I'm done, I'm done. Like, and I had some big injuries, and I'm 38. I'm going to go back and play National League rugby, because I'm going to do it, and
Yeah.
that's it. And I'll run 23 mile an hour, pushing 40, and you can fuck yourself if you think I'm not going to do it, because I will, and that's and that's it. Because you can't, otherwise you don't survive. You don't survive. Like, and one of the biggest things, like I landscaped after I broke my leg and stuff, and if in doubt, you can just go back to fucking digging holes. Working outside's great, like, and so you go, and a lot of like coaches really are listening to this podcast now more, that who really do want to understand like that in themselves. Like, what is that bit, like, because you get into coaching and you get into that's why I like having guys like yourself on that have played both sides of the coin. Interesting story. But what is the bit that keeps you doing what you're doing and keeps you driving forward, and almost using what you do to build a life for yourself? I think that's the biggest thing, because it's all about experience. When you're in the ground, people tell stories about you. Oh, you're some fucking bloke who sat in front of a desk every day,
Yeah, that scares me.
Yeah, you need to write your story, and these fucking wild things. English, from English teacher to bricklayer to, fancy kicking a fucking ball, mate. Like, it's so good, so good. So,
life's too short, isn't it?
Yeah. So carry on with so when you were, like, for those that are listening as well, let's do a little bit of techie stuff. Like, what's the difference between kicking like a rugby ball or a football in terms of like the placement on kicking an American football? Because it is a smaller ball, isn't it? A smaller contact point, from what I understand.
It is. I always say, if you're a good footballer, soccer player, and you can strike a ball, your skills will definitely translate, but it doesn't always mean you'll be a great kicker when it comes to even rugby or American football, because you can transition skills, but it is a change, and it's like, it definitely helped me that I was a good ball striker. But yeah, an American football is, compared to even a rugby ball or a soccer ball, is solid. It's like kicking a rock.
Yeah.
And there's a very small sweet spot in comparison, so your margin for error is smaller. So it becomes about, obviously in soccer we can manipulate the ball how we want to, and we're on the move, and we have to do it on the move. And like rugby, when you're kicking out your hands, you have to think on your feet and kick as you're moving. So whereas kicking a field goal, 90% of the time you're kicking it the same way no matter what. It's the same robotic, and you have to get really good at repeating that skill over and over and over. And if your foot position, if you pick your toe up, it's going to affect how the ball flies. If you kick the ground a little bit, it's going to change the direction of the ball. It's going to, change how high it goes. So like, you really have to get good at that same swing over and over and over. But yeah, I'd say it's the main difference is how hard the ball is, and you can get away with small mistakes with other bigger balls, but this one, you can, as soon as you've hit it, if it's true or not. And so
because it's designed to be thrown very fast, isn't it? Like, I remember
it's not supposed to be kicked.
When I started playing at Wembley Stallions, because I'd done the work with Alex, I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking play American football and give it a go after COVID. And they had a quarterback there, junior, and he could fucking zip a ball. Like, there's some QBs in England that can throw hard. And I'm like, first one from catching rugby ball goes straight through the bread basket. And then it just pings me on the top of the finger. And I'm just like, oh, like, it is so, if you've never done it, you listen to this, it is so hard. It's like someone just hits the tip of your finger with a hammer. And
solid.
And I was like, no, shake it off, back to the queue. Just catch the next one. So So I think that's a really important thing. Like transferable skills, we talk about transfer training with like strength to power to speed, and transferable skills is, again, it's like having the base ability to strike a ball, kick it far. You have to still relearn the skill of kicking a football, which must have been quite hard doing on your own, watching video or watching film and then trying to apply it at the same time. So think of like when you get out to Colorado and you like first practice, like what's going through your head?
It was, yeah, I mean, everything sort of changed because, and I say this now to young kickers I coach, and every coach will say this. It's like off the sticks or by yourself. Sure, it's easy, right? But easier at least. Like, but when you put yourself in a live situation where timing comes in, I never practiced that. Your snap to kick is 0.3 seconds, 0.35 seconds is where, and when you're in university, there's a lot of coaches that, again, this area is still misunderstood, even at those high levels. Coaches they want you 0.25 seconds, 0.26, which is like quick.
Shave a tenth, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because they can't, they can't figure out how to get the block right, the field goal block right. And so they want you to be quick, because if you're not, because your operation's slower, the snap's slower, the holder, he's probably not practiced as much as he should. So that's slow. From here to here is slow.
Yeah.
If you're slow, you're getting blocked. So yeah, like that was the biggest eye opener for me. And it puts everything else off because you're out of rhythm at that point. And so that's probably the most important part, is that you over time develop that rhythm to the ball where it's not jerky, you're not stuttering to the ball, you feel comfortable. I remember those first couple of weeks saying to myself, I'm not even seeing the ball. Like, I'm not seeing it leave my foot. It's all just a blur. It's just like a dump dump. And now, and I suppose it's a bit like baseball and any sport, now over time, I feel like that's all slowed down. Yeah. I've got quicker and I've got more efficient. And at the same time, it's all the pitches slowed down for me. And it's like, but when I first got there, it was all so quick and just, I mean, I'd probably hit a few good balls and the next one would, hit someone in the back of the head because I've tried to hit it too hard.
I've seen that. It's so funny.
Hit the snapper in the arse.
Yes. When you talk about that skill, and we use it with speed on the field, like the skill is about using your movement to slow everything down. And if you are efficient within your movements, the game does slow down. And I remember watching years ago, they did an experiment on Ronaldo on what would happen if they changed the condition of a corner. So, and his ability to score. And I don't know if you've seen it, it's worth looking up. But they do it with the daylight, and they strike the ball in and he just bangs it into the goal. And then they turn the lights off halfway through, and then he does it in the dark and he scores every time, because his ability to understand the flight of a ball based on the kick. And so like what you're talking about, the contact and you have a rough idea where it's going based on the contact. And, that's gives you such an appreciation of how specific intelligence is as well. Like there's some really smart people that can't change the light bulb. And, and so it's kind of being able to dedicate to mastery, which is really such an important trait. Talk to a lot of coaches. Like you want to be good you want to get paid well for doing what you do. You've got to be really good at what you do first. Like, don't worry about all the other stuff, because if you can't deliver, no one's going to want you anyway. And that's how, goes over people's heads because they live on Instagram.
I agree totally that.
So you get out and You do two? Did you do you both years of eligibility there?
Yeah, yeah. So 1 year was so COVID did take away the
Right.
season,
Yeah. Yeah.
but looking back, it might have been a bit of a blessing because I had a year of training essentially,
Big time. Yeah.
scrimmages as they call
Yeah.
them in the States, and just
They're
got to
wild.
yeah.
Live scrimmaging is fucking insane. Like having played rugby and obviously American football, even over here, people are like, "What's it like?" Violent,
Right, it is
violent.
and
You know,
fun.
yes, so much fun, so much fun. Did you ever do any positional stuff? Did you ever, other than kicking? Did you ever get
I
up
would,
like?
to be honest, I was my mind's made that way. I grew up boxing.
Yes.
My brother was a boxer. Like I enjoy that physical.
Yeah.
In football, I was a centre back. I loved. I
Yeah.
don't think I could play our football now because I wouldn't be any good because it's the game's gone soft, and
Yeah.
I loved that about the game. So yeah, I turned up and I wanted them to teach me how to tackle and can
Yeah.
I get involved in this drill, and I got involved
Yeah.
as much as I could.
Yeah.
But often it was like, kicker, go away. Like,
Go away. Kick the ball.
you're going to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. Like,
Yeah.
your feet, keep your feet good. I don't want you to get hurt. Like, you're the only one that can kick a ball here. Like,
Yeah.
go away. So you just got sent away to stretch and kick into a
Do
net.
your
But yeah,
bit.
I did try to learn.
Yeah, so much fun. I had because of Alex Gray, one of his teammates was a guy called Logan Paulson, who had like 12 years in the league as a tight end. They used to call him Tramhead, I think. No, not Tramhead. That's another bloke I used to play rugby with. It was a trucker or something because he was like big and
Truckhead.
bold. Yeah, it was something like that. But I would send him like, because I was playing tight end and slot, and I'd send him my blocking, and he would send me videos back in his living room. Like, he was like, by the time I stopped playing, when I absolutely wrote off my hamstring, it's like, you're varsity level. You're like varsity level, because he'd been sending me. Don't know what it meant, but I took it as a compliment. And I was just lighting people up, like, and it was the most fun I've ever had, from playing wing in rugby to them being on a line like some D end, like just fucking headbutting him in the face, was just so much fun. And like, just that physicality, like, was absolutely exhausted. My first scrimmaging session, I remember it, inside run, and we did it for like 15 minutes, and it was just horrendous. I slept all afternoon. I was just done. Because I'd never exerted, like 6 seconds on a rolling 40-second clock for like 15 minutes. I was just like, fuck me, like just fighting. So I could understand the appeal, especially like your, boxing and all that sort of stuff. You're like, I just want to fucking wrestle with people. And they're like, just protect your feet.
Yeah, well, kickers have got a bad reputation, like in general. I'd say I'm one of the biggest kickers out there as far as like
How tall are you?
6'2.5", and I weigh
Good
about
100 kilos?
106 now, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, big
so
goose.
it's probably the heaviest I've been in a while, but it's good good weight,
Yeah.
But yeah, about, I think it was like 237 pounds was the last time I weighed myself.
So here's one for you I find quite interesting. Like my missus is like 5'4", weighs like 50 kilos. She's in theatre, professional dancer and stuff. And you come, like, when you came out of sport, you realise that, like, in football, being this size is average. You come back here, you come out into the real world, like, everyone, you're big, but you
Yeah.
don't know you're big. I got a dry robe, like a camouflage dry robe, and wear it on like Worthing Seafront. I just look like a fucking walking bush. People just stare at me, like, and you're like, what are you looking at? Like, from being rugby, like 6'10", second rows that weigh like 140 kilos that can shift. You're like, what? I don't understand this. Do you find that?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I felt small when especially when I was in Canada.
Yeah,
Those guys, real pros, big,
yeah,
big fellas. Yeah, felt small. And then
yeah,
And I think you come home, and maybe it's England too. I think there's not this kind of the same gym culture. We're not always. I think we're a bit smaller here than say the States in general. Would you think that? Yeah. So I end up hanging around my mates, and they're all like, "Look at the size here." And I'm like, I'm not big.
Just normal.
This is normal. Yeah. But everyone I meet that I haven't seen for years, they're all like, "Fucking hell!" Like, what did you eat? Like. But I think when I played football back in the day, I was stick thin. I was just fit, not an ounce of body fat on me. Now times have changed,
and that shared environment as well, like the collective testosterone around teams, like it's there, it's real, like it's you all just feed on it, like it's such a crazy environment to be in and be around. So it's quite interesting you say that, because I don't really know many big people here. So it's like, where do all the big people gone?
Yeah, I guess they're playing rugby somewhere. But
I went down to Worthing actually. I went to, I got involved with them a little bit at the end of last season, and I was still the biggest player. Like, I'd been the biggest player there. Like, I remember from back when I first started playing senior rugby, like 6'4", 100 kilos on the wing. Like, it was, there were big men, but I think people are getting smaller. I just have this like feeling that they're just getting smaller.
It's just more athletic. They're trying to be. Is that what it is? Like, what is the trend?
I don't know. I don't know. Not enough steak. They're all fucking vegans, I bet.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's like a decline in just collective testosterone. I think that's what it is. It's just not enough. They need a bit more fighting and a bit more action movies.
I agree. I think it's sedentary lifestyle. But
yes, that's the point.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But I took pride in being like, I knew I was a kicker. I knew I was older.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things against me as far as like just people's opinions. It's like, but I went, when I went to Colorado and when I went on to Canada, it was like, no, I'll show people I'm capable.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a kicker or not, whether I have to make one tackle, I end up having to make 3 in one season, which was fun. But it's like, I took pride in being strong, and I knew my age was a factor, so I had to work harder, I had to do stuff in the gym, look after myself. And other kickers I worked with wouldn't do the same. They would sit and stretch, use some bands, but they're built like a sock full of mash, just an absolute sausage, like just And I go, I never want to be like. I don't care if he can kick really well. Like, I want to show everyone that I'm part of this and I'm an athlete, and that's what I think. That's what's kept me playing. I'm now 38 and I still feel as good as ever. So
that's so good. And also being physically prepared, like, is so important just for everything. Like, if you need your physicality in life, like, you can't be weak just in general, like, you need that. And those 3 tackles. Exactly. So I saw a Dorian Yates video. I love Dorian Yates. He's like, I don't go on Instagram too much anymore, but he's one of the people that I follow. And it was like, youth of today, he was like, they're fucking soft. Men need challenges, and no one wants to challenge themselves. And I was like, give that a bit of a repost. That'll show them days. And it was just like, that's the grip, that you want to shake into people, because it's about having pride as a man. I think it dovetails really into the how and why you ended up playing in Canada and stuff, and doing that is because of that pride and that grit, that you're like, my name is in this. I can't just hide, can't come back with my tail between my legs saying I failed.
No chance, right?
Yeah.
You sacrificed all that. Yeah. Exactly. You sacrificed all that, to that point. You're right. You can't. There's no way you're coming back. And I think that that was always a driver, and I had tough times because of it, because I was like, in between and like, after playing or off season, you wonder if you're going to get another contract, and you're thinking, I can't come home yet. Like this can't be it. Like I'll go back and people go, oh, he sort of played for a bit. Like, no, I'm not having that. Like I want to go out and prove that I'm good and have a story. But
yes. So from college to then playing in Canada, how does that happen?
Yeah, lots of. I feel like I could talk for hours on this whole thing, but I'll try and be efficient with it. But yeah, so I graduated obviously with my MBA, and then I stayed. When you graduate with your masters, you can stay a bit, what I call an OPT, and you get experience in America working.
Yeah.
It has to be within your field, or you can set up your own business. And
oh wow!
So I set up an LLC, and that's what Game Day Kicking. That's where Game Day. I'll do a bit of promotion, but that's where Game Day Kicking was born. Funny, there's even another part to that story, and I look back and go, that was part of it, because I graduated and I actually got offered a job in the financial industry. So I'd been coaching a kid, and his dad was in finance, and he said, come work for us, you'd be brilliant, like ex-athlete, you're mature, like we need someone like you. And I didn't have much, there was no like NFL things on the horizon. It was just all maybes, and I just had to keep training. So I was like, well, I'll give this a go. And I sold my truck. I regret that. Sold my truck, bought this Volkswagen Passat, like posh looking car. Bought a couple of suits and was like, right, I'm a finance guy now. And this was in Colorado Springs. And oh man, I'm thankful for the dad that obviously wanted to give me the opportunity, but I lasted about 6 weeks, I think. And same thing, I was in front of a desk on the phone thinking, sat in a suit, going, nah, this is not me. And there was a defining moment, actually. I remember it, I can picture it now. I drove to the gym one day, on the weekend, and I'd been, stewing about what to do with life. I wasn't happy. I'm like, I've got to, I want to keep playing. And I was a little bit down about it, but I got to the gym and I sat in the car park for about an hour looking at the doors, just thinking, just sitting there. And I couldn't bring myself to get up and have a workout. And I drove home. And when I got home, I said, right, this is not how it's going to be. So I brainstormed, and I still got the piece of paper. I brainstormed, like, what am I going to do with myself? Financial job, coaching, playing. And I obviously come to the conclusion, didn't want to do the financial job. Like I need to at least be coaching. I've been around the block enough where I knew all these coaches, and I was like, I'm good enough now, and I've taught myself I can coach. Anyway, so I called the company the next day and said, look, I'm really sorry, but not for me. And that same day, I bought the domain gamedaykicking.com.
Nice.
And I just went for it. I started putting myself out there, and so that and so Game Day Kicking became to fund myself for my training. So I knew I wanted to try and go pro, and I said, right, I'll give myself 1 year because I'll be 36. And even in your own brain, you're going, you're getting on. Even though I was like, I still feel good, as good as ever. Just collectively, the world thinks you're old once you cross your 30s. And so I was thinking, well, I'll give myself a year. If I don't go pro, I'll grow up again. I'll grow up again, settle down, get a job, all this stuff. And so I trained, and Game Day Kicking would help support me, and eventually, I'd go to these showcases and went to these kicking events, and I did all right. And I, kicked with NFL players, NFL free agents, and the feedback was always good. They were always like, where do you play? And I was like, nowhere. Like, how long have you been kicking? Like, 2 years. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
And that gave me that confidence where like the NFL guys were going, no, man, you got legs. You can do something there.
Yeah.
So I said, right, I'll give myself a year. And actually, I went to LA. The Edmonton Elks had a tryout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we say trial, but they call it a tryout. And so I saved money, got to LA, stayed in a hostel with about 9 smelly blokes. Just went to sleep, woke up, got to this field in LA. And again, even that day was challenging. We got there at 8 a.m. There was about 4 or 5 kickers. We didn't kick till 4 p.m.
Oh, so my God.
We're in the LA sun.
Yeah.
It's a tryout for all positions. So they're like, kickers, you'll be at the end. And we're like,
oh my God.
All right. So I'm trying to keep myself warm. I'm trying to fuel myself. Yeah. I'm running out of food. I'm running out of water. But I kept myself positive. I said, look, you just got to kick. You're here once. The other fellas, the American lads, were sort of losing their minds a bit, and that, I think that didn't help them because they, when it came down to the long field goals, I made mine and done well, and they were missing theirs, and it's because, and they were frustrated from the whole day, and they let it get to their head, and so I had a good day, but then I had to rush off to the airport to get my flight back. So I said, Coach, I can't stick around and say bye, but I've got to go to the airport. They're like, yeah, thanks for coming, Dean. We'll be in touch if we need, but have a safe trip back. And I thought, probably not going to hear anything. And then I didn't hear anything until draft day was on the 2nd of May. And this is 2023.
Yeah.
23. 2nd of May, I knew it was draft day for the CFL.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I knew I had an agent by this point. I knew I was in the pot. I was in the mix. But I'd not heard anything. Usually like in the NFL, the players hear if they're going to get drafted. They have a conversation. I don't really hear anything. And then, so 9 a.m. I knew it started. So the missus has gone to work. So I'm sat by myself in Denver in a little apartment with my phone like this. I'm just like staring at it. 9:02. I first get a text saying, pick up your phone. Then 10 seconds later, it rings. So I'm like, geez, so I pick it up. And it was the coach from Edmonton and said, we're gonna draft you. This was the first round, second pick of the global draft. He said, we're gonna draft you. Can't wait to see you in Edmonton. See you next week.
Wow.
And
that gives me goosebumps, mate.
Oh no, I did. I get it now, and they recorded the video. It was on Instagram. The Elks put it out there. Me talking to coach, and I sound so unexcited.
Yeah.
But believe me, when I hung up the phone, I've punched the walls.
Yeah.
I was just by myself, and I listened back, and I was like, "Thanks very much, coach. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity." But really, I'm in my head. I'm going, "Fucking like, finally, finally, like this is what I've been working for." And so the next week they flew me out, and then I was in Edmonton. So I had a couple of years in Edmonton, and first year got to start. Played all 18 games as a rookie, as a 36-year-old rookie, which was always the story. No matter what I did, it was like 36-year-old rookie, and that was the story. But just at that point, it was that made it moment for me. It's not the NFL, it's not millions of dollars, but it was like I've achieved what I set out to achieve. No matter what happens from here, I can almost say, right, I'm good. I'll grow up now. That's
amazing. That's amazing. And like being able to, there's like a certain peace that's made at that point. If you think about, from what I learned about your story, bouncing around the world playing football, like just trying to get hold of that thing, and tame the bear, as it were. And it's so good. And I remember we connected at some point during that period. Was that draft the year that Glenn and David were in it as well? Was that year or the year after?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Because they had a virtual combine. They had to do a virtual combine. I'm not sure, but
So maybe
yeah,
then, maybe if it was that year, yeah, that would have made sense if it was
yeah,
they were doing virtual combines. Luckily, I was in the
yeah,
States and there wasn't. There were still restrictions, but not really.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
sort of wear your mask. It depends what state you're in, but
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, it was that. It
That's
was like
great.
a pop balloon moment. I think I'd been
Yeah,
this like pumped up person for a couple of years, and I look back and go, well, I probably wasn't a very nice person to be around. Probably wasn't the best
yeah,
boyfriend, the best friend, because I was
yeah,
like, nothing would stop me from the gym or kicking, and there was
yeah,
no
yeah.
like, now we're doing this today. Nope, I'm out to the field and like, and again, I
Do it
think people,
after.
even I have friends in America that probably going, all right, Dean, you've done university, you've done college, you've got your masters, you're
Yeah,
36, like now call it a day. But I'm still in
yeah.
my head, I'm going, no, it's not
No,
until
it's
my
not
legs
over.
say I'm done. Yeah, and so that moment was like, I think I've been built up for so long. It was like someone just popped me, and everything just went,
Yeah,
and I just went, yeah, I can't believe it. I've done it. I've done it.
yeah.
So
And what fascinates me is psychology and understand. I was in a coaching group that was all around psychology, human behavior for a good couple of years. My undergrad dissertation was actually on goal setting, and I'm in the wrong profession, to be completely honest, because I'm more impressed with the mind than what everything else. Actually, in like a neurology of speed rabbit hole, which has lots of applications to kicking, which is quite interesting. We can talk about that another time, but and that self-determination theory, being able to sit in this pocket, and you actually, people say get uncomfortable being uncomfortable. I don't think they quite understand what that is if you are that way inclined, because the uncomfortable is having to deal with your inner critic every day. And then people want what you got. People go, Dean, how do I do that? No, you don't want that, because if you open that door is open, and there's costs to that. Did you see when Scotty Scheffler won the Masters? You saw that? Have you seen that interview? The same
no,
principle. They're like, he talks
yeah, I haven't
about,
seen the
like, they're like
interview.
amazing concept, and it's worth looking at. Anyone listening, it's like you've achieved da, 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 da. And he's like, you don't want this. You don't want this. Like, I'm happy I've done it, but you don't want 4 o'clock in the morning in here. You don't want that, and
Yeah, that's not peace. Yeah,
no, no. And you're like these dumps of energy, and just because you're just sitting in this space, whereas I deserve more for myself because I demand more from myself. And that's an identity rather than just a state of mind. It's sort of bred into you, and you kind of like do that yourself. Which is probably why, again, you're probably incredibly unemployable as well.
yeah, I've realised that it's not the easiest because yeah, I've realised that I've picked up jobs since I've been home as well, and I struggle with the lack of autonomy.
Yeah, yeah,
I've had 20 years of setting my schedule,
yeah.
and it's not been all those years of being lazy, and no, it's been years of like scheduled, purposeful intent each day.
Yes.
And then you go work for someone else and they sort of take that away from you. It's like,
Yeah.
now we tell you what to do now, and you're like, well, no, this doesn't make sense. I'm really good at doing it by myself, actually, and if you let me, you probably get more out of me. But yeah. So you're right. I'm pretty unemployable, to be honest.
Well, you'll probably find most people just slow you down. I remember when I had when we were doing the filming for George Clark's Amazing Spaces, they were like, talk to us about what you're doing. So the problem with that is my brain moves way too fast for me to talk to you. So just guess, right? And it really didn't go down well. But it is that whole thing. It's kind of like, just, I'm in it. You're in it. You're in this space. You're in this pocket. And I remember seeing some videos. I think you had some pretty monumental kicks while you were out in Canada. Some big kicks.
Yeah.
I saw I think it was a big match winner. I can't remember. But just tell the story of them.
Yeah, it was. That was my rookie season.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more context to this, actually, because the Elks we were struggling. We had started the season like 0-9 or something. And we were on this, as a club, on the longest losing streak in professional sports for a while.
Wow.
And that had gone back years before I turned up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the longest losing at home streak. It was like this. It's still a record, I think. It was over years of games. And so we'd had that on our shoulders too. And we started like, it was 0-7 or 0-9. And then we managed to get our first win at Ottawa. And we started getting the fans back on our side. They started turning up again. We started getting like 35,000 people in the stands.
Wow.
So like, but it'd been tough up to that point.
Yeah.
Because everyone's thinking, am I keeping my job? Are they getting rid of me next week? We're losing again. If you miss one, you're thinking, that's me gone.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so that we'd gone through all that as a team. And then obviously your big rival game is against Calgary. Edmonton beat Calgary is your derby match. And we had gone there the week before, and we've been leading the whole game because they're playing back to back. They call the rematch Labor Day. So they play on Labor Day and then the Labor Day rematch. And then so you just flip, you go home and away against Calgary. So we played at their place and they beat us like really late on to snatch it from us. So they had their big moment. And then we played at home. And of course, we're on this losing streak. There's a lot of negativity around the team. And as far as press, we stayed together as a group pretty well. So again, that made it more special because we came back in that game in the last like 20 seconds to put ourselves in a position to win. And what was even more interesting about it, it ended up 25-23. But at the time, Calgary had 23 points. We had 22. And the reason we had 22 with 20 seconds left was that Dean had missed an extra point.
Oh, no.
Earlier on in the game.
Oh, no.
I was I went out there too slack with it.
Yeah.
Thought tap it through. Wind caught it. Wide left a bit.
Oh,
and I'm there. So I'm on the sideline looking at the clock going, if we lose by 1 point, that's all they're going to talk about. It's Dean's miss. Yeah. You know, this English lad. He's never played before.
Yeah.
What's he doing here? You know, you think, I'm not thinking all those things at the time, but I am thinking, fuck that. Please don't come back and bite me in the ass with that. And we managed to get close enough within field goal range with like 6 seconds left. So I got my chance to go out. And it was obviously, if I make it, we win. If I miss, we lose. And it was, 42 yards and first time in that position, game winner. And went out and smashed it. Probably one of the best balls I've hit, straight as an arrow.
Yeah.
And again, the best feeling. Another one of those moments that you go, right, they can't take anything away from me now.
Yes.
That me tomorrow. I've got this. I've got this moment, and I've got the football that I've got on my shelf. And
have you?
I've still got the football. Yeah, and I got the team at the Elks. The equipment guy got it painted on with the date and the game winner and all that stuff. So it's, but it's in Colorado. It's not here. It's in Colorado. But just what a moment! Just again, all those years of booting balls down fair and rugby field. Yeah, you know, and visualizing you hitting it through the post, and then you do it in front of 35,000 people against your rival to win. When you're losing games. Like, oh mate, it was the place erupted and just I was just so happy for the team. And I made a point of saying that afterwards. It's like, I'm just happy for the team. They're the ones that have been battling for all that time. I just get to come on and finish it off for everyone. But what a moment. I wish I relive that over and over. I wish there was more moments, and I had a game winner in the Arena League, not quite so big, probably in front of a few hundred people, but yeah. So what
but if you had too many of them, they would lose impact. You know, I watched the Buccaneers documentary on Amazon, and it was really, really good because they'd won their first Super Bowl, but then obviously in that COVID year they brought in Brady, and everyone's like, well, what's Brady doing going to the Buccaneers? He's risking his whole legacy for that reason, because he wanted it for him. And you would argue that the Bucs Super Bowl win when he was there would probably sit more in his brain as the "I've finally done it" moment. That one moment, like that match-winning kick, that's the one, because it's the one that I did. Not that I did with Belichick, essentially. Imagine that as the albatross on your back for all that time. Not being able to do it on your own, and that's that level of like, what would you call it? It's almost enlightenment, self-actualization. You're there. You're like, I found it. I'm at that level now. Done. So good. So I can't realize the time. We're only meant to do about an hour. But what's so you're
right.
you're back. You're back in the UK. You're back in the UK now. So you did your 2 years. So what's next, really? What's next for you?
Yeah, so I did my 2 years, and then I had a year in the Arena League up in Montana in Billings. So I did that, and that was fun. Different experience.
Yeah.
Kicking in skinny posts, small arena. It's about 58 yards from end to end.
Oh wow!
But that was good fun. Good fast game. Just got loved being in Montana and loved experiencing that. And so that was last year. And then I suppose since then I've stayed on the horse. I don't think I ever. I have friends that worry about me because they say, "Well, when you are done, what will you do? What will you fulfill your time with?" And I'll find stuff, but I'll keep having that mindset, I think. And it's whether it's through coaching and so I have been since then. All I've been doing is my coaching. And then so obviously, built quite a good kind of base in Colorado. Yeah. And then because we got married, things change. We have to visa status changes, so I have to wait before I can go back. So we've got to go through all that process. So that's why I'm home, really. It's like we made the decision. My wife's still in Denver, and she comes to visit. So we got married, and then I went, "See you later." Best marriage ever. So it was.
She comes over for conjugals.
That actually is really nice because when we see each other, we're like excited all the time.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, like, "Yeah, good morning. You want some toast?" It's like, no, but I do miss her. We're trying to find our way back together, but we have to spend some time apart. And so I decided that coming here, I have found some work, so I'm doing some consultancy for a sports recruitment company. Nice. So it's all sports related. So helping teams build their staff across the Premier League, and then I've been focusing on the US actually. So I've had it's been great. I've been chatting to like GMs of the NFL, sporting directors in the MLS. So all these phone calls have been great connection. So I'm doing that, but I think that game day is still there, and I've been doing one-on-one stuff here. I got involved with the Great Britain team. So
nice.
I think I will be, if I win the job, I'll be kicking for them in October. So they play Norway and Finland in October time, I think. So I've got involved with Great Britain, and I've been helping coaching some of the younger kickers. Just teaching them what I know and helping the next kind of generation come up through Great Britain. So that's been something I've been really proud of, and it would be great if I get to represent the country. Have you done that in anything in rugby or anything? No.
I wonder. I was late developer. I was cut for being too small when I was like 13. When it was like, just is what it is. And then broke my leg when I was 19. So I was trying to get back to be pro. I turned down an opportunity to go and play full time out in Italy. And because we're the same age. So when I was like 19 and then 18 it was. And I was like, no, I'll go to uni, try and get picked up over here, play in the national leagues and see what happens. And then the day Wasps came to scout me, I broke my leg. And then he only told me that when I ended up going back to work for them a few years later in the academy. Because I was like, I was playing Saturdays and Sundays at that point, and I'd scored. I was kicking as well. I used to goal kick, and I had scored something like over 200 points at that point in the season. I'd scored 10 tries on a Saturday, 10 tries on a Sunday, across a 12-week period, and I was in the national paper, and they came to have a look and broke my leg, and that was it. So, but yeah, like representative stuff, and that for me, that's kind of like that. I knew it was over. And that's why I cried my eyes out. I was like, it was gone then, and I was like, I'll fight my way back and get paid to play. Then as well, like being able to play full time in Europe wasn't as much as an option as it is now, even in like American football, but in rugby, I knew lads that you go and play in the south of France for a few years and like, enjoy the crack over there but then it was like, right, well, if I can't play, I'll work in it. I'll get myself to the top. Got there and realized what a fucking shit show it was. And then that started everything else, which is why we're here now. So it's it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yes, I mean that's where I'm at really. Just building, keep building game day. I do a camp in Paris in March. I've done for the last 2 years, and so I do like I really want to focus on the coaching side of things and the performance side of kicking. I think it's the area that's neglected a bit. There are tons, I see it every day, new kicking coaches coming out because people that have played a little bit, they decide, I can coach this. And for me, they all promise we can get you scholarships and we promise this. And like you mentioned earlier in the podcast, make sure you're good first.
Yeah.
Get really good, and then you'll get opportunities. And so whenever I coach, that's my focus. I'll get you as good as I can and help you be good. The rest is up to you. You take it where you can take it. I'm not going to promise you scholarships. I'm not going to say, I'll get you to America. I'll promise I'll make you a better kicker.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in American football, isn't there? There's a lot, especially like here in these programs. They're just, I'll give us $5,000, and it's like they're charging big money, a lot of them, and
it's the money maker. It's the golden ticket. It is probably the sensible business model. But it's not for me.
It's not ethical. It's not ethical.
It's not for me. Of course, I want to make money, but I want to do it the right way. I want to help people.
There's a difference between good money and bad money, isn't there? And that's a big part of life. So I think there's got we need to do like a kicking deep dive as a round 2. I think we need to do something.
That'd be great. Yeah, we could talk kicking performance stuff all day. I think.
Because I'll bring it offline. I think I've still got your phone number. I'm pretty sure I do. So I'll drop you a message. So I did some work with goalkeepers, place kicking, and physical development, so we can geek out and stuff like that.
There'd be a lot of stuff that could help there. Similarities. Yeah.
So for those listening, they want to reach out, maybe put you on their podcast, or good storyteller, mate. So how can they get hold of you?
I'm on Instagram, dean.faithful. My website is gamedaykicking.com, and then all my contact stuff is on there. Or simply dean@gamedaykicking.com is my email. So, but happy, give me a follow on Instagram, and I always tell people, my inbox is always open. I'm not one of those that just ignores people. I like to connect with good people and chat and help people. So
Amazing. Well, thanks for your time today, mate.
No, thank you. It's been overdue, mate. It's been overdue.
Yeah,
So
long overdue.
yeah.